We're back on the Morning Brew with friends, talking about some of my favorite stuff. Lowriders, I love this. And you are, Sparky, and you are with the, it's the El Chante Car Club.
No, Imperials.
Imperials, okay. And you have a couple awesome lowriders.
Yeah, my son has a 78 T-Bird, which we acquired from somebody who had previously built it. And it was a great start, and I got a 36 Packard.
That's amazing.
Yes, sir.
And then you are an artist.
Actually, I own the gallery.
You own the gallery,
I own
okay.
El Chante Casa Cultura.
Oh, excellent.
Which is on Central and A Street across from Robinson Park. So it's a community art space. It's a boutique where we sell local crafts and regional crafts and art from people that we know.
And this is just some of the art you guys sell, right?
Well, this is just some of the art that's going to be in the upcoming art show that's called La Cultura Cura.
Excellent. So and it is lowrider art. So how did you come to this and decide this was a good show?
I
mean, lowriders are awesome, but how did you decide to do a show about it?
Well, we're friends. Some of our friends have some lowriders, and that's kind of the culture that my cousins grew up in as well. So El Chante emphasizes Chicano, Native, Indigenous art and culture. And lowriding is very much a part of our culture here in New Mexico, in Albuquerque, and in Española.
Well, right across the street from you guys every Sunday is like the lowrider convention every week, right?
Yeah,
right there at Robinson Park. I love it. But there is something in the lowrider culture of it's not where you're going, it's how you get there, right? It's the trip, it's low and slow, right? Yeah. What got you into lowriding? Is it the cars? Is it actually being in? Is it being part of it? Is it the people? Is it?
I grew up my father was lowriding in the 40s and 50s. It goes really far back, and it's just pride and something that somebody's discarded, and you get it and turn it into a rolling piece of art.
Do something really great with it.
Yes, sir.
Like your Packard, it was discarded.
Yeah, I found it in pretty good shape.
Yeah?
I was pretty blessed.
And your Packard, I saw your car, it's been a couple of years since I've seen it, because it was at I think at the Rumblers car show a while back, and it was still on the trailer.
Yeah.
And since then, have you been able to get it rolling?
I've driven it a couple of times, but it's just a very strange car to work on.
They don't make parts for those anymore, do they?
It's taken me 3 years to get a harness, 4 years to find an extra wheel. There's nothing reproduced for the car.
That stuff isn't on eBay like anything else, right?
No.
Yeah. So how do you even find parts for some of these classic cars?
Thank God for the internet.
Right. I'm sure. And when you said you're going to start doing a lowrider show, do people come out of the woodwork and say, "Oh, I do lowrider painting too"? And
well, they have been coming out of the woodwork, and mostly people who want to show their cars. But some of the art that we'll be showing tonight or on December 12th from 5 to 8 p.m. is going to be this piece here by Diego Trujillo. He actually has multiple pieces, and one of the big things in El Chante that we take pride on as an art gallery is really emphasizing artists from New Mexico and providing artists from New Mexico the opportunity to show their art, because that doesn't happen a whole lot, right?
Right.
So this is by Diego Trujillo. He's from the Old Town community and the West Side. And then this other piece here is by Felipe Tapia, who's also, his family is originally from the Duranes Old Town community. He also has a piece of Johnny Tapia. I wasn't able to bring it because it's a little too big for me, and I'm kind of short.
We've only got so much room in the studio, too. But
and what's really amazing about Felipe's work is that he paints in oil, and oil paints are very difficult to use, right? So we're excited to have, these aren't the only artists. There's going to be another artist by the name of Joe M. Baca. He does a lot of woodworking, so that's the emphasis, looking at some of the traditions and how they've been handed down. He learned woodworking from his dad.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. So what was it for you doing a lowrider show? I mean, what is it about the idea and the culture of lowriding that got you involved and interested in this one?
Well, I mean, what got
me... As a curator.
Well, I mean, it's hard to separate myself as a curator and someone who grew up here. So growing up, my cousins always cruised on, at that time, San Gabriel Park, and then San Gabriel Park, Tingley Beach, and then the west side of Central.
West Central, yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of the way that I grew up, and their boyfriends always had lowrider cars, so I was always sitting in the back seat. The car was half tilted. So that was just the way that I was raised, and the art really, all of us are influenced by it, as Diego and Felipe, as you can see, in most of their art, I would say, is about New Mexico culture, specifically lowriders. Right.
Well, there is something about lowriders. They're a little bit demonized. You know, there is a thing, and you probably get this too. You know, it's like, it's not the...
It's a stereotype.
There is a stereotype about it, yeah. And there is something with that. And people think that because you have a lowrider, you must be a gang member or something like that, right? And it's not true, is it?
No, sir.
But Does that kind of add a little bit of a mystique to it, a little bit too?
I think it's just like a lot of subcultures that's misunderstood.
Yeah.
I mean, we park in Old Town a lot with some really good childhood friends, and people from out of here will ask like strange questions, like, "Have you ever shot at a house?" I was like, "Wow." Unfortunately, we'd probably run out of gas in front of the house. But you know what I mean? It's just like,
Hey, the lowrider's not a good getaway car, is it?
no, it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Right.
And then we drive slow, so
Right.
it'd be a really slow police pursuit.
Right. Right.
I think that that's kind of the point of the show, right? And El Chante is to show that all of these things in New Mexico, all you hear about all these negative statistics, right? This is bad, that's bad.
Right.
And I never grew up that way. I always thought that New Mexico was a beautiful place.
It
Our
is.
people, our food, our language, our culture, and our history. And so I think, yeah, there's just a lot of stereotypes and misperceptions of
Right.
what's put out there in popular media and also what we're taught at school, right? So
Right.
I think that projects like this,
Yes,
art
ma'am.
shows like this, of us as community members coming together, that we demystify that stereotype about who we are as a people.
Well, and I think there's something in this too that people forget about the art of the lowrider and the art of the paint jobs, and you know, there's guys around with like some bombas that have beautiful chrome work and things. There's skills that are almost even getting lost. Am I right? I mean, these are
Yes,
skills
sir.
that you
It's
can't even
amazing.
find
Well,
people
the
to do
parts
this
are
stuff.
impossible to find
Yeah.
for a lot of the cars, and it's and most of the people I know involved in lowriding, you don't have time for drugs and alcohol because there's so much involved in the car, and
Right.
and you bring your children, and it's just like this young lady said, it's a beautiful culture.
Right.
And how you mentioned the food, me and my son are opening a hot dog stand that we're going to be selling out of a 60s camper that's lowered, and
That's
and
cool.
we're going to incorporate the Chicano art, the lowrider, and the food culture with the New Mexico green chili and red chili.
I love it.
And
I
all into
love it.
one.
We need to get some lowrider oldies music next time, Dan.
That's one.
We'll be back in a couple of seconds on the Morning Brew with friends. We got the fire chief in this morning going to talk to us about Christmas tree safety. And we'll see you
Awesome.
guys December 12th from 5 to 8.
At El Chante Casa Cultura, 804 Park Avenue South.
Right across the street from where the lowriders usually hang out at Robinson
Yes,
Park.
yes.
We'll see you guys then on the Morning Brew with friends.
Going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the